Alright, it's CSS battle time, and we have a border. It's kind of cool. I like that shape. Alright. So I think these borders here will make this inner shape with the way they overlap, as long as we just have a yellow square that fits within the lip of these borders. I feel like we can line them up with like this inner edge and this inner edge, and it'll all be okay. Yeah, I'm hoping. I think we can make that work. So really, these elements, I just want them to be a border, and maybe I can make a small yellow square here. Yeah, the black border is default, so I won't even have to do the black color. So what if, all right, HTML, I'm gonna do a background. I'll put in the description if this works out, right? Let's do a conic gradient, because I realized that's the easier way to get a square of a certain size in a certain position. And the way you do that is by using the @ rule, but we're gonna first get something on the screen. Let's go to this, and actually we're gonna do, I could do it either way. I'm gonna go ahead and do blue first as the principal component, and then that for the rest, right? That just kind of makes more sense in my mind to have the yellow square up in that corner. Now, when we use the @ rule, what this does is, this is like making the rule of what the background, a gradient is a background image, essentially, and this makes it like what the image actually is. So if we do like 50 pixels by 50 pixels, right? And we say, hey, the 0, 0 point is going to be at 50 by 50 from that top left corner. That 0, 0 is top left. And so we described where the 0, 0 starts, and then it fills out the rest of the screen with the gradient. But now, when we move things, it moves that particular image. So you see how we have just a little box that we can move around in a blue field. So that should work pretty good. And I think it's more like 20 and 20. 25 and 25. Yeah, that looks like it'll fit within the things. It doesn't have to be perfect, because our borders are what have to be perfect, and they'll clip everything because they're going on top. Now, because I use the ampersand, and that's not an ampersand, the and sign, yeah, that thing. I'm only selecting the HTML with that. And if you only put a background on the HTML, the body's going to have a transparent background, which is exactly what I want here. I just want the body to have a border. And what is this, 15 pixels solid? And it's going to be, by default, black. Yeah, that looks about right. All right, we're going to need a border radius, and then we're going to margin it into place. And I think I'm going to make the body, I'm going to make it this side, and then I'm going to do a paragraph tag, and I'm going to try to use negative margin to pull it out to the side, and actually use margin collapse to keep it up at the top. I'm hoping that works. So let's go border radius. A lot of times 1 or 2 inch is sufficient for these. Let's margin it down to size. So we're going to do like 10 on the top. Yeah, that's about right. The right hand side is going to be a lot. The bottom is going to be 10, and the left is going to be 10. All right, so let's get the this side going. I think it's going to be closer to 300. We might have to do percentages here. I'm pretty sure percentages is going to be what I want to do. I think the border needs to be thicker. Ooh, is it 16 pixels? It's 16 pixels. What a nice surprise. Okay. So that looks decent. Yeah, I have to have all 4 border things, but let's change this to a percentage right now. Let's go 80%, 75, 76, 77. Nope. If you have to do you know, a half a percentage, it stops being worth it, because the beauty of a percentage sign is you don't have to have a white space after it to separate things. But now we're at more characters than 310. All right, so we have that going. Now let's select a paragraph tag. Let's put it in our DOM. All right, now it's just border right now. Let's give it a height of 30, let's say. Let's give it a margin of 0 for the moment. Actually, I think I just need height and margin, I hope. So let's go -16. And left, right, -100. Okay. So let's go 0 on left, right for the moment. Bottom is going to be 0 and then -200. That's going the wrong direction. I have these backwards, that's why. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it's sizing up quite nicely. Okay, let's change you to 50. 51. Ooh, 48. Yeah, these are multiples of M units, I think. All right, let's pull this side back to 16. And you are going to go 320. Ooh, we're close. 310, 320, 316. Okay, let's hit submit. Let's just see how far we are. The diff looks a little bit weird. If this is good, we can make adjustments. Hey, it's good. All right, I'm not going to argue with that. I like that solution. 16 pixels is 1 em, right? 25 pixels. Now, what does that make? I can actually, I think this I have wiggle room on. So can I do 20? 20 is not enough. So 24, 25, 26. You know, we can just do Q, and it's yeah, 26. There we go. 26Q is fine because there's wiggle room. That doesn't have to be precise. That one's a little bit easier. 50 pixels. I think that one actually I probably have wiggle room as well. Yeah, I do. I do have a little bit of wiggle room. Because it's getting masked, it doesn't have to be perfect, so I can use Q there as well. So, real easy. Yep, we're good. All right, let's minify. That was fun. I like it when an idea actually works out. We have one background, 2 margins. I used height. I think that's better than doing padding. Although, no, because if I did the padding, it would cause the body to overflow. Negative margin actually cause the body to expand. The negative margin actually just makes it overflow. So that's the reason for that choice. And yeah, I think that's it for this one. 167 characters. That's longer than I thought it would be, but I like it. It's good. Cool. All right, that was fun. I hope you had fun with this one, and I will catch you later.